is Nayland Sue, the head coach for Kamiak, Corey West. The officials for tonight's game, Ira Dunbar, Robert Ruiz, and Chuck Frame. And now, ladies and gentlemen, if you would please stand and join us as we honor America with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And welcome to the Terraceum. Welcome to Mountlake Terrace High School. It is the home opener for your Mountlake Terrace Hawks. Good evening, everyone. My name is Steve Willits, and along with Ben Iman, we are bringing you our first basketball game of the season. The Mountlake Terrace Hawks coming off of a 84-56 win over Lake Washington tonight. They're playing the Kamiak Knights, one of the better teams in all of Wesco 4A. Team that came one game away from making it to the Tacoma Dome last year, and they bring back the Everett Herald Player of the Year from last year, number 3, Carson Tuttle. Ben Iman, good to see you, my friend. It's good to be back, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. I'm excited to be back, you know. Took a long time off. New season, starting 1-0. It's really exciting, and got a really exciting team this year. I'm excited to see what they got coming.
And we'll get you the starting lineups here momentarily. Kamiak rolling with number 3, Carson Tuttle, number 5, Patrick Olson, number 12, Connor Fitzpatrick, number 20, Jordan Meyer, and number 34, Daniel Sharp. So we're going to have a rethrow of the sideline pass here. Kamiak with the ball, 7 seconds gone so far. Opening drive, Carson Tuttle with the basketball. We talked about him already committed to Texas A&M Commerce next year. 4-year start. A team that went 18-8 overall last year, and we get a traveling right away. That's number 12, Connor Fitzpatrick.
Traveling Terrace basketball.
And Ben, the starters for your Mountlake Terrace Hawks, number 10, a 5'9" sophomore, Mason Christensen. Number 20, a 5'10" senior, Keegan Grayson Zarun. Number 22, a 6'4" senior, Kyrie Armstead. He has the basketball. Kicks it to number 30, Mason Peterson. He's a 6'3" junior. And rounding out the starting lineup with the basketball, just passed it in. That's number 32, Brendan Hayes, 6'4" senior. Was that Armstead?
That's Kyrie.
Kyrie Armstead.
2-0 Mountlake Terrace here early on. Almost a steal there. Driving into the lane, putting it up as Olsen off the backboard and in. And Kamiak has their first points of the season.
Patrick Olsen.
2-2 score, just a little more than a minute into the game. Up on the top of the ball there, number 30, Peterson, swinging it around right now. 2 Masons out on the floor. Keegan Grayson's around with the ball. Hayes swings it over to the right side. 3 ball up in the air, it's good.
Mason Christensen for 3.
The sophomore, Mason Christensen, hitting his first 3 of the night, giving Terrace a 5-2 lead. 17-footer up, nothing but the bottom of the net for Jordan Meyer. 5-4, both teams showing a little offense, and we're going to get our first foul of the game called. That's going to be on number 20, Jordan Meyer.
Yeah, I think this is definitely going to be an exciting game. Last year, you know, Kamiak, as you mentioned, one game outside the state playoffs, including the Everett Herald Player of the Year in Carson Tuttle. Kyrie Armstead for the Hawks, ranked 12th in the state. It's going to be an exciting matchup.
Kamiak actually ranked 9th in the state, according to the Seattle Times. 3rd in the coaches poll in the Wesco 4A behind Glacier Peak and Monroe. Mountlake Terrace, incidentally, picked to finish 4th out of 13 teams in Wesco 3A, even though they're the smallest school, the only 2A school. 3 ball off the mark, a scramble for it. Coming down with it finally is number 12, Connor Fitzpatrick. Gets it over to the point guard, Tuttle for 3. Off the back iron, high up into the air, and batted away right back into the hands of Tuttle. Nice job by number 12, Connor Fitzpatrick, to get his paws on that one and knock it to his star point guard. And we're going to get a foul called against the Hawks. Tuttle driving the lane, getting knocked to the ground. A non-shooting foul.
That one's on Mason Christensen, the sophomore.
That was on Christensen, his first non-shooting foul. First foul against the Hawks.
5-4, Mountlake Terrace here early. 5:38 to go, first quarter. Tuttle pulls up from 16 feet. Off the side of the iron. Armstead grabs the rebound. He's going to push it up the court. Pulls up for three on the other end. Gets the side of the backboard. The ball comes out to number 20. Stolen away by Christensen. Lays it up and in.
Mason Christensen with the steal and take. Hawks back into the lead.
Now up by 3 points. Tuttle looking to drive into the lane. Tries to kick it out. Ball gets batted away by Christensen and knocked out of bounds. Kamiak will retain the possession.
Yeah, I think early on Mason Christensen's made a really big impact. He's got 5 of the 7 Terrace points so far tonight. Couple of steals, deflect passes.
Olsen now looking to drive. He goes to the right side, flips one up off the backboard, leaves it just a bit short. Armstead comes down with yet another one, pushes it ahead to Zeron. He loses it. Tuttle with a nice spin move after the steal. Dishes off underhanded to his teammate Sharp. Sharp misses it, gets his own board, goes back up, misses it again. Ball gets knocked out of bounds. They're going to say it was last touched by Sharp. Terrace basketball.
Yeah, I think this is going to be an interesting matchup tonight. We got Keegan Grayson on Carson Tuttle. Be a fun one to watch.
Sharp, the third leading scorer for Kamiak on last year's team. Really the only key component to that team as far as scorers was Christian Clausen, who's graduated. He was the second leading scorer behind Tuttle. Terrace loses the ball. Here comes Tuttle. Doesn't have numbers, goes up anyway, puts it up, draws the foul, and he'll head to the line for 2.
That foul's on Kyrie. As Tuttle drove to the lane, he'll shoot 2.
Foul's on number 22, Armstead, his first shooting foul. Tuttle to the line, shooting 2. Tuttle stepping to the line, hits the first free throw, up and in.
That is Tuttle's first point of the match. Comes on that free throw.
Tuttle averaging over 22 points per game last year. And we mentioned it earlier, just a superstar pretty much from the second he walked onto the court at Kamiak his freshman year. Putting up numbers, just does amazing things with that basketball. And nails the second one as well. Can drive, can shoot, can play defense. He is an all-around player. There's a long three, and it's in! Mason Peterson. Mason Peterson for 3. Hawks with their largest lead of the night, 10-6. Getting those 3 balls to go early. Mason, Peterson and Christensen each with a 3 so far. And there's a steal by Hayes. Hayes looking to go 1-on-2, slows it down a bit, kicks it over to Christensen. He floats one up and he hits it. Christensen with 7 points.
Hawks jump out to an early 12-6 lead in this one.
Tuttle right back on the other end. He hits a 17-footer. 12-8 score, 3:51 to go here, first quarter. Hawks with the early lead. Grayson's a run. Throws it back on top to Armstead. Armstead looking for a huge senior year. Had a nice junior year as it was. Helped this team get to the state tournament. 30 points we mentioned the other night, 8 rebounds. Long ball 3 again. Left that one just a bit short off the front iron. That was Mason Peterson with the shot. Tuttle's going to pull up for 3 on the other end. Misses that one. Rebound offensively for Olsen. Olsen loses it. Ball's knocked out by Terrace.
I know.
Kamiak will keep the ball. Last touch by Terrace. Kamiak keeps possession. Checking in for the Knights, number 32, Braden Leary. Braden Leary checking in for Kamiak, the first substitute of the game. He comes in for Jordan Meyer. Fitzpatrick into the lane, kicks it back out to the right side. Tuttle being guarded very closely by Zeron. Dribbles into the lane, pulls up from 12 feet, and he hits it. Carson Tuttle. 12-10 game. Tuttle now with 6 points on the evening here. Just a little under 5 minutes into the game. Tuttle with a steal on Zeron, loses the ball. Can't save it from going out of bounds. A nice takeaway by Tuttle. Almost had a beautiful play, but just couldn't quite get the possession.
Yeah, as I said, this was going to be the matchup to watch. Keegan Grayson on Carson Tuttle. Tuttle, I think, so far winning it.
Zeron once again being D'd up by Tuttle. Goes over to the left side, swings it into the quarter to Christensen. The sophomore bounces it off his foot. No, they're going to say it was last touch by Sharp. Last touch by Kamiak. Terrace keeps possession. 23 seconds to go on the shot clock. 2:49 to go in the quarter. Terrace into their half-court offense. Peterson gets it back on top. They're going to reset it with Zarun, 14 on the shot clock. Christensen up to Hayes. Hayes thought about the shot. Sharp doing a nice job, all 6'7" of him to step out on Hayes. 4 seconds on the shot clock. Zarun with the ball. We're down to 2-1. The Hawks don't see it, and they lose possession. Shot clock violation.
Yeah, that's just a miscommunication there.
Kamiak basketball.
No one saw that the clock was running down on the shot clock. It's unfortunate.
And that's the hard thing about this first quarter when you're Terrace. You're going away from your bench. So certainly if they had been on this other side, I think you would have had Coach Shute and the rest of the guys yelling and screaming in their ear. Not sure they heard it that time, and consequently, they used up all 35 seconds. See what Kamiak wants to do here. Olsen with the basketball, being guarded by number 30, Mason Peterson. Olsen looking to set it back out on top. We're going to get our first substitution for the Hawks as Connor Williams awaits to check in. And we're going to get an offensive foul called against Kamiak.
Oh, and that one's on Daniel Sharp.
Offensive foul called
Blocking
against
foul on
number
him.
34, Sharp.
It'll be Terrace basketball.
His second team foul against Kamiak. Checking into the game for the Hawks, number 12, Connor Williams. Checking back in for Kamiak, number 20, Jordan Meyer.
Jordan Meyer also checking back in for the Knights. Connor Williams wasting very little time, cuts into the lane, kicks it out to Hayes, leaves it short along the right side, scramble for the ball. Olsen coming away with it. Williams almost tied him up. Nice job by Patrick Olsen to finally come back away with that ball for the Knights. Tuttle drives right into the lane, dishes off to Leary. Leary's going to try to go up against two guys, floats it up, misses it. Ball bounces around. Williams finally takes it down, gets it ahead to Armstead. Armstead tries to go behind his back, loses control, is able to dish it out to Christensen. Back to Williams. Williams drives in the lane. Underhand layup attempt, misses it off the glass. And coming down with it is number 32, Braden Leary, as we're now down to 1:21 to go here in the first quarter. Mountlake Terrace still holding on to that 2-point lead. Patrick Wilson's going to try to change that, and he's blocked by Hayes. Blocks the shot right back down to Christensen. Connor Williams in the corner for three. Left it short. Air ball got just a little bit of net. Kamiak looking to push it. Tuttle almost losing that pass. He's going to put up a three ball. Bounces around, finally comes down. Scramble for it. Hayes grabs it. We're now down under a minute to go here in the first quarter. 12-10. Kyrie Armstead for three. Another ball that's going to bounce right down into the hands of Sharp. Carson Tuttle, coast to coast, lays it up. Misses the shot, but draws contact, and he'll go to the line for two more.
Looks like that foul was on Mason Peterson, a blocking foul.
That was on number 30, Mason Peterson, his first shooting foul. Carson Tuttle to the line, shooting two.
Carson Tuttle just so quick, gets down the lane, actually gets down the entire length of the court, drives down the lane before anybody's even ready to play defense as he puts up the first one and makes it. He's now 3 for 3 in the night from the free throw line, as we're going to get a new player checking in.
Checking in for Kamiak, number 10, Max Manalo.
Max Manalo checking into the game, the 6-foot junior for Kamiak. Tuttle with his second free throw attempt. He misses this one. He's now 3 for 4 on the night. He's got 7 points here in the first quarter. 12-11 Hawks leading. 37 seconds left in the quarter. 9-second differential between the shot clock and the game clock. Armstead trying to do a little pick and roll. Goes off of his foot, out of bounds. Kamiak basketball.
Terrace pass goes out of bounds. Kamiak basketball.
Shot clock is turned off as we're down to 30 seconds to go here in the first quarter. Kamiak with a chance to potentially get their first lead of the night here. They're down by 1. Can use up as much of this time as they want right now. Tuttle getting double teamed, kicks it into the corner, pulling up from about 12 feet out and hitting his number 20, Jordan Meyer.
Jordan Meyer.
13-12, we're down to 5 seconds to go. Williams dribbles it off of his leg, out of bounds with 4.9 to go. Kamiak with an opportunity here to expand upon that 1-point lead. Tuttle back to receive the pass. Braden Leary looking to throw it in. Tuttle already with 7. Let's see if he wants to pull up. He does. Tries to draw contact off the back iron and misses it. And we've come to the end of the first quarter with our score. Kamiak 13, Mountlake Terrace 12.
That is the end of the first quarter with our score. The Kamiak Knights 13, Mountlake Terrace Hawks
Just some numbers from that first quarter for everyone. Mason Christensen leads the Hawks with 7 points. Mason Peterson has 3 and Armstead has 2. And for Kamiak, Carson Tuttle went 3 for 4 from the line, tacking on 4 more points from 2 field goals.
Yeah, and we're not keeping track of rebounds or assists here. We might try to get some of those from the Mountlake Terrace statisticians at halftime, but certainly a well-played first quarter by both teams. When you think about it, Kamiak playing their very first game of the year tonight. Mountlake Terrace again with a game under their belt. Having said that, Kamiak did play in a jamboree over the weekend, so they've gotten a little bit of playing time against other teams as well. But this is an experienced team on both ends. We've got Carson Tuttle, again, Daniel Sharp getting a lot of playing time last year. Mountlake Terrace again coming at you with Kyrie Armstead, Brendan Hayes, a starter last year, Mason Peterson getting some good time as a sophomore, Mason Christensen, a guy that we've been hearing about since he was in middle school over at Briar Terrace, and certainly not disappointing, the sophomore already with 7 points there in the first quarter. Kamiak will inbound to start the second quarter. And the second quarter is underway. Kamiak looking to slow it down a little bit. Half-court offense. Tuttle thought about the shot. Swings over to Sharp. He's going to take a long three. Rolls off the front iron. Hits the backboard. Doesn't quite connect with it. Armstead with yet another rebound. Mountlake Terrace looking to push it up the floor. Mason Christensen, the sophomore, being guarded by Tuttle. Youth versus veteran right there.
Yeah, I think this is going to be an interesting matchup to watch the two of them all night.
Hayes with 14 on the shot clock, kicks it over to Christensen. Connor Williams sticking around in the second quarter, drives into the lane, dishes out to Hayes. The wide open three, he hits it. Brendan Hayes.
And with that three, Terrace will regain the lead.
Terrace with a 15-13 lead now. Armstead reaching and almost got that ball knocked away from Tuttle. Finally comes up with it. Olsen left baseline, underhand layup up and in. Patrick Olsen. Beautiful move by Olsen. Drove baseline, knew the defenders were coming to cut him off. It went under the basket, put it in perfectly, and we've got a tie game here now. Early second quarter, 6:42 to go in the half. Two teams that played an overtime opener last year. Armstead getting that shot blocked by Olsen. They're going to call a foul, though.
Yeah, got Kyrie Armstead, you know, one of the main men for the Hawks is definitely been pretty quiet tonight. We'll see if he can pick it up.
I think Olsen thought that was going to be called on him, but they called it on Meyer for a body check. Kyrie's first free throw is good. Checking back in for Kamiak, number 12, Connor Fitzpatrick. Checking in for the Hawks, number 20, Keegan Grayson Zarun. Armstead with his second free throw, misses this one. Armstead with 3 points on the night so far. 1 point lead for the Hawks. A little fun here in the Terraceum tonight. Patrick Olsen, right baseline, kicks it back into the lane. Got blocked by the referee, so couldn't see if he put that shot up or not. Grayson Zarun comes away with it, looking to push down the other end. Fakes the pass, lays it up and in. Keegan Grayson.
Yeah, the little scoop and score for Keegan Grayson. Nice steal, takes it to the other end.
Keegan with his first bucket of the night. 18-15 score. Hawks with a 3-point lead. Tuttle being guarded very closely by number 30. That's Mason Peterson. Maybe a little too close as Peterson reaches in and makes contact.
That'll be Peterson's second foul of the night.
Foul was on Mason Peterson, his second. Fourth foul on the Hawks, non-shooting foul. Checking back into the game for Mountlake Terrace, number 12, Connor Williams.
Substitution, Connor Williams back in now for Mason Peterson with 2 fouls.
Tuttle setting up the offense. 5:41 to go here, second quarter. Non-conference game. I don't think these two teams don't want to make a statement against each other. We mentioned it. An overtime game last year. Sharp from 18 feet out. He hits it. Daniel Sharp.
That's Sharp's first basket of the night.
I mentioned it earlier. Sharp averaging over 10 points per game last year. Christensen, the sophomore, looking to test the waters there along the left baseline. Didn't see what he liked. Kicks it out. Williams for the long three off the back iron. Armstead able to grab it out in the perimeter. Resets the offense. Carson Tuttle hit about a 35-foot shot at the buzzer last year to put this game into overtime. That game being played at Kamiak, a game that Kamiak ended up winning 71-67. Down to 20 on the shot clock. Armstead, underhand layup, hits it.
It's a nice drive by Kyrie, starting to heat up. He's got 3 points in the quarter.
Armstead with 5 points for the game. 4:49 to go here in the second quarter. Ball's kicked out up on top. Look at Armstead. Nicely done. It tips it away from number 32. Brandon Leary throws it down! Not the first time we're going to see that in the Terraceum this year. Actually is the first time. Won't be the last time, I should say. Shows everybody that he's ready to eat there. He's eating well. Here comes Armstead one more time. Fans getting up on their feet. Drives the lane.
And
this time he's not going to get a bucket, but he will go to the line.
Yeah, Kyrie definitely known to throw it down. In fact, in that last game against Lake Washington, he got a technical for hanging onto the rim too long, but takes a guy with him up to the rack and throws it down.
His second. Terrace with a 5-point lead right now. Largest lead of the night.
That last foul was on Daniel Sharp. That'll be his second.
Fourth team foul. Into the lane, Hayes lays it up, just can't get that one to fall. Rolls off the rim into the hands of the waiting at night, Patrick Olson. Tuttle pulling up from the free throw line. Edge of, misses it, gets the rebound after a tip from Sharp. Has to pick up his dribble in the lane, back to Sharp. Swinging that ball over. Fitzpatrick, they go to the lane, gets it to fall. Connor Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick with his first points of the night. 22-19 score. Going to get a couple subs here right now.
Substitution for the Hawks. Kyrie's going to take a seat for Brady Blackmer. He's the sophomore.
Brady Blackmer. Also checking in for Kamiak, number 32, Braden Leary. Nicely done there, Ben.
Thank you.
Just mentioned Vince DeMiro, our esteemed colleague, who's usually the public address announcer, out sick tonight, so we're doing a little double duty here at the table. Connor Williams lays it up.
It was a nice drive, a little bit of a fake pass near the end.
Williams
His
with
second.
his first points of the night. Tuttle, they're going to call a block. See if they want to say that was in the act of shooting or not, as Christensen's going to pick up the foul.
That'll be Mason Christensen's second foul of the night.
Foul is on number 10, Christensen, his second. Non-shooting, fifth team foul against the Hawks.
So for the Hawks, two Masons with 2 fouls.
Tuttle,
In and out.
left side, had that one rim in and out, and then Blackmer getting his first board. Blackmer,
Nice
only
pass.
a sophomore. Shot in the corner, Christensen puts it up. Nice job by Hayes, goes over the top. Bats it away from Leary, able to grab it, gets it back into the possession of the Hawks. They're going to swing it out. We're now down to under 3 minutes to go here in the second quarter. Connor Williams throwing it over to Blackmer. Grayson being guarded by Tuttle. Over to Hayes. Hayes, quick three. Nice release. Doesn't get it, but Grayson's run there for the rebound. Spins, tries to put up a shot. Olsen blocks it, and kicks it out, and Hayes able to grab it. Back to Christensen. Into the corner. Blackmer thinks about the three. Gets Olsen up into the air, drives the lane, kicks it over to the left side. Here comes Williams into the lane.
In and out.
Hits it off the backboard, and we're going to see who keeps it. They're going to say Williams touched it last. Actually, they're going to say a foul on Williams. He reaches in on that play. It's the 6th team foul against the Hawks. Foul is on number 12, Williams, his first. 6th team foul against Mountlake Terrace.
Yeah, the Hawks have been playing well. Just
Back in for Mountlake Terrace.
some of these shots they've struggled to seem to find down. They've had a lot of nice drives. Certainly not a lot of nice passes, but nothing. Having struggles finding stuff fall through the net tonight so far.
Mountlake Terrace seems to be stuck on that 5-point lead. Their largest of the night. They've had a few opportunities to get buckets to go up by 7, and they just don't seem to want to fall for them. Fitzpatrick with a 3. In, out. Almost went back in again. Blackmer finally comes down with the rebound. Hawks looking to push. Here comes Armstead. Driving into the lane. Out to Zerone for 3. He hits it! K-G-Z for 3.
That's Keegan's 5th point of the quarter. Starting to heat up. 27-19.
Hawks now with their largest lead of the night. Zerone with his first 3-pointer of the night. Manalo Gets tied up by Blackmer, finally able to come back up with it. Blackmer putting a lot of pressure on. Gets it out to Fitzpatrick. Carson Tuttle finally says, let's slow this thing down momentarily. 11 on the shot clock. Hayes knows he's going to get a drive here. Gets contact. Tuttle doing what he does. Gets Hayes up into the air, gets contact, and Tuttle's going to the line for 2.
That's going to be the 7th team foul on the Hawks. And Brendan Hayes first.
7th team foul. Shooting foul. Tuttle to the line, shooting 2.
Tuttle, nothing but net on the first shot.
Yeah, Carson Tuttle kind of been quiet in this quarter. Started out with 8 points in the first. Only the 1 point coming on that free throw in this one.
4 for 5 at the line tonight for Tuttle. 4 for 5 for the team. He's the only one that shot a free throw so far. Make that 5 for 6 now. 27-21, Hawks by 6.
Hawks will go fast.
Graysons are on, looking down low, finds Hayes in the key. Hayes underneath the defender, lays it up and in.
Brendan Hayes.
Now, Brendan Hayes was a guy at Jam Session a couple weeks ago that just seemed to be knocking down every shot he takes.
Hayes. That was on Hayes, his second.
That is one thing I like about this Terrace team.
Carson Tuttle back to the line, shooting 2.
If you're going to drive into the lane, you cannot be afraid to take a hit because the Hawks will punish.
That's 2 on him.
Tuttle doing a nice job of
Philly, that's 2.
playing aggressively. Hayes, that's his game. You're absolutely right. He's not going to just back down from you. And fortunately, he's going up against one of the premier point guards in Western Washington who's keen to draw in that contact when he needs to. Tuttle missing the free throw. 5 for 7 now for the night. For the Knights.
Yeah, Carson Tuttle's a really exciting player. He's made everyone that's matched up with him almost look silly. No wonder he's gone to the line so much already early in this game.
Tuttle connecting on that second free throw. 29-22 is our score. Down to 1:11 to go here in the first half. Hawks looking to push their overall record on the season to 2-0. Keep in mind they play in the 2A District 1/District 2, so every game counts for them. They're looking for RPI rankings. Connor Williams trying to kick that out to Keegan. Keegan wasn't ready for it, went to his right, out of bounds. Kamiak basketball.
Yeah, a couple times tonight for the Hawks, just miscommunications and mistakes. It's really costing them. You don't want to leave Kamiak hanging around. They're definitely a team that'll...
Now down under a minute to go here in the first half. 29-22. Hawks so far outscoring Kamiak in the quarter. 17-9.
And that pass was tipped by Armstead out of bounds.
Last touch by Mountlake Terrace. Kamiak keeps possession.
Oh,
Great pass by Tuttle. Manila just couldn't quite finish it. Found a cutter on the way in. Here comes Armstead on the other end. Leaves it short as he floats through the lane. Olsen with the rebound. He grabs it. Tuttle had the right idea. I'm sure he's not too happy about his other fellow guard. They're missing it. Tuttle with the rim around. Falls off. Here comes Armstead behind the back. Tuttle there to intercept it. He lays it up. Gets that to fall.
yeah, that was smart by Kyrie. Let Tuttle take the layup. Don't want to foul. Don't want to give him anything easy.
It's great basketball IQ there. Tuttle recognizing he might go behind his back, anticipating where it might go, was in the right spot, grabbed it, laid it up and in. High basketball IQ for the fourth-year starter. 3 seconds to go here in the half.
Kyrie got some
Armstead
space. Off the mark.
misses the shot, and that's the end of the first half with our score, Mountlake Terrace 29, Kamiak 24.
That is the end of the first half with our score. The Mountlake Terrace Hawks 29.
An electric first half for both these teams, going by very quick. Not a lot of foul shooting. Both teams seeming pretty accurate, but I've noticed for both teams unable to make shots fall. I've seen for Kamiak multiple shots that have gone in and out for them all night. Terrace also not being able to find the basket.
Yeah, and it'll be interesting to see what happens in the second half, what kind of adjustments they make. Certainly, Kamiak, always a question for them is who's going to step up and help them out. Their number 2 leading scorer last year, we mentioned, graduated. Landon Overturf was their number 4 leading scorer last year. He's not suiting up tonight. So they're going to have to find some ways to produce some points. So far, when we look at it, Patrick Olsen, 4 points. Connor Fitzpatrick, 2. Jordan Meyer, 4. Daniel Sharp, they need to get him going. He only has 2 points. even Batman had a Robin. Somebody needs to step up and help Carson Tuttle out if they're going to get more production. And for Mountlake Terrace, a well-rounded game. They've had their opportunities. They probably are kind of kicking themselves a little bit as some of those shots in the paint during the second quarter just not quite falling the way they wanted to. This could be a double-digit lead right now.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, it's not easy to drive on this Kamiak team. They got some really tall people down there, down low, and it makes it easy. But there was multiple times open threes, drives to the lane that just either hit off the rim or hit off the backboard. They left it short, and I'm sure the Hawks are kind of kicking themselves on some of them.
We're going to take a break right now. Again, we are at halftime. The Mountlake Terrace Hawks leading the Kamiak Knights 29-24. You're watching Hawk TV.
about to get back underway here in the second half. Start the third quarter. The Hawks currently lead 29-24. Some scoring totals for you in the first half. For the Hawks, Brendan Hayes had 5. Mason Peterson had 3. Keegan Grayson had 5. Connor Williams with 2. Mason Christensen with 7. And Kyrie Armstead with 7. And for Kamiak, Daniel Sharp had 2. Connor Fitzpatrick had 2. Jordan Meyer with 4. Patrick Olson with 4. And Carson Tuttle had 12. Carson Tuttle leads all scorers with 12. About to get underway. Hawks lead at 29-24.
You guys let her know the numbers of the people that are in.
Mountlake Terrace to inbound to start the second half.
Start of the second half here. Mason Peterson will inbound to Keegan Grayson. Mason Christensen, Kyrie Armstead, and Brendan Hayes, the starters for the Hawks on the floor. Here's Peterson. He'll find Hayes in the corner. Grayson finds Kyrie in the middle. He'll pull up, shot, and he banks it off the glass from the elbow. Big 2 for Kyrie.
Kyrie Armstead.
Opens up second half scoring. Here's Fitzpatrick. He'll drive to the lane. Rebound by Olson. Will not go. Grayson pushes up the floor. Jump stop. Only count as a 2, but he's off the mark. Here's Carson Tuttle. Nice pass into the lane.
Boy, that one is tough there. Tuttle with the no-look. Beautiful pass to Sharp. Just couldn't quite bring it in.
Last touch by Kamiak. Terrace basketball.
Grayson will bring the ball up. Hawks lead by 7. He'll find Christensen. Into the lane for Armstead. Armstead spins, puts it up and off the glass, and it's in. Kyrie Armstead starting to hot up. He's got 4 to open the second half. Carson Tuttle will set up the offense for Kamiak now. Screen by Sharp. He swings into the corner. That's Olson. And it will only be a 2. Patrick Olson with the deep 2. Kamiak's first point of the second half. Peterson will go back to Grayson. He's set the offense up to Brendan Hayes. Swing to Christensen. He'll find Peterson. Back to Hayes for 3. Off the back iron, but rebounded by Mason Christensen. He'll reset the offense down. Wants to maybe slow things down. Here's Armstead. Finds Mason Peterson. Keegan Grayson, top of the key. Swings around to Brendan Hayes. Hayes will find Peterson. A deep 3. It's off the front iron. Tuttle brings it across center court. And that's going to be an offensive foul on Carson Tuttle. His first foul of the night. First team foul for Kamiak. It's a nice play by Keegan Grayson to take that charge.
Offensive foul called on Tuttle, his first
Terrace
team
basketball.
foul against the Knights in the second half.
Yeah, and that is that's taking a charge against not only an all-area player, the player of the year for the Everett Herald last year. Zarun really holding his ground and knowing that the contact was coming, did a beautiful job.
Christensen pump fake, drives in. Shot is off the mark, though. Tuttle's going to push the floor again. He'll kick to Fitzpatrick, whose shot's off the mark. Olson with the save into Fitzpatrick. He'll drive into the lane, and he'll be fouled. That foul's on Keegan Grayson, his first team foul for the Hawks of the half. And number 12, Connor Fitzpatrick, will go to the line.
I thought he was giving him the ball sooner, so I didn't want to call it.
First free throw up and off the iron.
The ref faked me out. He started to give it to him when he pulled it. Wait a second.
Fitzpatrick's second is up, and it's through. He goes 1 for 2 from the line. Hawks come quickly now, finds Mason Christensen. He'll swing to Kyrie Armstead. He'll find Mason Peterson. Peterson will kick it out to Keegan Grayson and reset the offense. Here's Armstead, right wing. He'll drive. Kicks to Brendan Hayes in the corner. He'll pull up, and he'll knock it down. A big 3. Brendan Hayes from the corner. Timeout, Mountlake Terrace. That's a big shot from Brendan Hayes.
Timeout, Mountlake Terrace.
30-second timeout for Nayland Sood and the Hawks. Big shot for Brendan Hayes. Kind of struggling all night off the back iron, off the front iron. It's always good to see one go down.
Yeah, Hayes coming up really big there, giving them that 9-point lead. As you mentioned, he's got 2 threes now for the game, 8 on the night. And the Hawks doing a nice job here. Again, this is a Kamiak team that we're still expected to see some big things out of. So really, I don't think you're necessarily in a point of this game where you can feel overly comfortable. We've certainly seen Mountlake Terrace come back from larger deficits. Kamiak definitely capable of doing that. You still have to watch out for that number 3 guy out there too. He is liable to heat up at any given time. No lead is safe with him on the floor.
Terrace looking like to apply a bit of pressure, bring 2 men up. That pass is tipped by Kyrie and stolen. He'll find Keegan Grayson, who'll lay it up and in. Scoop and score for the Hawks. Nice stolen pass by Kyrie Armstead. He finds Keegan Grayson for the easy 2-point layup. Here's Tuttle. He'll work his magic, set the offense up. Screen by Sharp. He pulls up for 3. And it's only going to count as a 2-foot on the line, but it's in nonetheless. Hawks trying to go fast. That pass is going to go over Mason Christensen's head and out of bounds.
And that's unfortunate for the Hawks. They're having a nice 11-point lead. It lasted for all of about 5 or 6 seconds. Kamiak coming down, getting the basket, and then the immediate turnover. Now they're going to try to cut it to within 7 or maybe even 6.
Here's Fitzpatrick. He'll drive, and his layup's too short, but he rebounds, kicks it. That shot's too far. That one was from Jordan Meyer. Mason Christensen does well to get his defender off him, and he'll come up and he'll set the offense up. Here's Armstead. He'll find Keegan Grayson, who cuts to Mason Christensen, lays it up and in. It's in and out. There's another one of those in and outs for the Hawks. Fitzpatrick trying to steal it away from Tuttle, unsuccessful. Here's Tuttle. That one's going to go out of bounds. It's going to be off the knee of Kyrie Armstead and out of bounds. It'll stay with Kamiak.
Last touch by Mountlake Terrace. Kamiak keeps possession.
Tuttle will take the inbound, throws it to Meyer under the basket. He'll turn and pull one up, unsuccessful. Rebound Keegan Grayson. He'll push the floor. He finds Mason Peterson to Armstead. Armstead will drive, fake Euro step, and is rejected. That's Patrick Olson. Sends one back, and it's out of bounds. Kamiak basketball. Substitution for the Hawks. Connor Williams will check back in for Mason Christensen, who started out really hot in this game, but has kind of cooled off as it's progressed. Still playing really good defense, though. Connor Williams into the game. Tuttle will bring it slowly over the line. He walks it up, guarded by Keegan Grayson. Screen. Into the lane, it's Patrick Sharp who goes up through 2 defenders and lays it up and in. Daniel Sharp.
That was a gorgeous no-look by Tuttle, by the way. Looked the entire defense off. Found Sharp cutting towards the basket. Easy layup, but that one was created all by number 3.
Here's Brendan Hayes to Keegan Grayson in the corner. Finds Armstead top of the key. Back to Grayson, and you'll clear everyone out. 13 seconds on the shot clock. He drives. Kicks to Williams in the corner for 3. Off the front iron. And rebounded by Fitzpatrick. He'll push the floor. Finds Tuttle. 2:55 remaining in the third quarter. Tuttle's shot is up, and it toilet bowls out. Rebounded by Brendan Hayes. He'll find Armstead. Armstead will drive around Tuttle. Into the lane. Goes up and around a defender, and his layup's off the mark. Fitzpatrick finds Tuttle, but not before Keegan Grayson can dive in there and tip it out of bounds. Kamiak basketball.
Kamiak keeps possession. Checking back in for the Knights, number 10, Max Manalo.
Max Milano, the sophomore, checks back in for the Hawks. For the Knights. Tuttle will drive, kicks. That shot is up and off the mark. Rebounded by Keegan Grayson. Shot was by Jordan Meyer. Connor Williams passes over the head of Mason Peterson. And we'll be back to Kamiak ball. 7-point lead for the Hawks, 38-31, 2:18 remaining in the third quarter. Here's Tuttle. Tuttle finds a cutting. That was a cutting Patrick Olson who'll kick. And that three ball's long overdue. That pass to Kyrie's up and goes with the safe layup and not a dunk.
Peterson with the assist.
Here's Tuttle now. Guarded by Grayson. 40-31 the lead. That pass into the middle, kick now. Back out to Tuttle for three. And he knocks it down. Carson Tuttle for the three. He's got 5 in the quarter. 40-34 the Hawks lead. Grayson. Screen from Armstead. Will find Peterson in the corner. He'll pull up for three, and he knocks it down. Mason Peterson for three. His second of the night. He's got 6. And the Hawks open that lead back up to 9. Tuttle. He'll pull up for three, and he knocks it down. A quick answer. Carson Tuttle replies, timeout, Kamiak.
Timeout, Kamiak. A 30-second timeout.
30-second timeout for Kamiak. 59.8 remaining in the quarter. 43-37. Steve, we got a game on our hands.
Yeah, that's getting a little exciting there, too. We're exchanging threes, and Carson Tuttle, we mentioned it, 8 points already in the quarter alone, 20 on the night. And kind of a quiet 20, and that's kind of what Carson Tuttle does. I mean, we mentioned it. He averaged 22 points per game last year. He's that kind of guy that just, you think, well, he's having an okay night, and then you look at your score sheet and go, wow, that's impressive. So keeping his team really in the game right now with over half of their points, and really Mountlake Terrace just getting it done in various ways. Kyrie Armstead, I mean, what jumps out at you on our score sheet, because it's all we're keeping, our points, he's got the 13 points, but it's the steals, it's the pressuring of the defense to force the turnovers and get the transition game going, and you get passes like the one you just saw from Mason Peterson a minute ago. One play, he's making a beautiful full-court pass. The very next time down, he's putting up a three. So really just a nice, rounded game for the Hawks.
Keegan Grayson will bring it over the half line. Connor Williams catches the tipped pass. He'll find Mason Christensen top of the key to Kyrie Armstead. Armstead will kick to Brendan Hayes. Hayes finds Keegan Grayson. Into Brendan Hayes. Ups and unders, lays it up and in. It's hard off the backboard. Here comes Tuttle now for Kamiak. He'll set his offense up. Kamiak going from right to left. Also in the black, Hawks in the white.
Shot
22
clock,
seconds.
shut off too if they want it. They can waste and take as much time off that clock as they want right now.
I think that's what they're going to go for. Tuttle leaves the ball exposed. Keegan Grayson goes for it. Screen not there. Shot from the corner. Knocked down.
That's Rick Olsen for three.
Hawks will go fast. Keegan Grayson will bring it over the end line with three. Pulls up a deep three. It's off the top of the backboard and out. So Steve will head to the fourth. An interesting game on our hands. Carson Tuttle keeping Kamiak alive. 43-40. We'll head to the fourth, and this Hawks team really needs to find an answer to stopping Carson Tuttle because he's been electric tonight.
It's not just the shooting, it's the passing. It's the no-look passing, really. I mean, you've watched the last few passes he's thrown to Sharp. The kick he just had out to Olsen there again. Gets that defense thinking he's going one way. And the thing about Carson Tuttle is you have to respect and honor the way that he's able to get to the rim. You can't play him like you play other players. And I think they're getting to the point now where they just assume he's going to go right into the paint. Kicks it out. He's got an Olsen waiting for the shot, drains it, which is exactly what they need because really if Kamiak's not going to hit these shots at some point, and when I say Kamiak, I'm talking about the players other than Tuttle. They have to start hitting those shots. If they don't hit them, at some point the Hawks are just going to challenge them to throw it out there and double-team Tuttle and make the other guys beat them.
That's Patrick Olson for 2.
Hawks at one point had an 11-point lead in the third quarter. It has dwindled down to 1 at this point. 7:30 to go here in the fourth quarter.
43-42. Hayes, jump ball's going to be called, tied up. Possession arrow to Mountlake Terrace.
Jump ball, possession arrow to Mountlake Terrace.
21 seconds on the shot clock. Armstead is just going to turn and shoot off the front iron. Oh! Kyrie Armstead gets his own rebound and throws it down. When we talk about Kyrie Armstead being electric, it's those ways. It's taking an inbound pass, shooting a 3, grabbing his own rebound, and throwing it down. And on the opposite end, Tuttle drove and was fouled.
Foul is on number 12, Williams, his second.
It's on Connor Williams, his second foul. Tuttle will go to the line where he's been superb tonight.
I've got to be honest, I don't know that I've ever seen that in a high school game. A guy shooting a three-pointer, missing his own shot and coming in and throwing it down off the rebound. Unbelievable. Kyrie Armstead, he's capable of doing a little bit of everything, and we've seen it over the last couple of years here, but that one was a new one for me even.
No, I think that's really saying something because, Steve, you've been watching basketball since the beginning of the earth, so, I got to understand,
I'm old, but I'm not that old. I think you're thinking of Vince DeMiro. You might have the two of us confused right now.
Tuttle will go 1 for 2 from the line. Hawks lead by 2. Grayson almost loses possession, will find Armstead. Here's Peterson. He checked back into the game on the free throws. Brendan Hayes. Connor Williams. To Peterson. Armstead in the right corner. Finds him cutting Mason Peterson. He'll kick it out. Hayes swings to Williams. Williams will cut back to Keegan Grayson. Hawks not finding it hard to drive. Kyrie drives, spins, puts it up, and it's in and out. Another one of those in and outs for the Hawks. Shot from the corner, and it's good. Patrick Olson with the 3. He's starting to heat up. This is exactly what Kamiak needed. Someone other than Tuttle to start knocking out some shots. Kamiak leads 46-45. Here's Williams. Thought about a shot. Decides to give it up. Hayes finds Peterson. He'll take a deep 3. And he knocks it down. Mason Peterson with a reply, a deep 3. Hawks reclaim the lead, 48-46. Out to Meyer. He'll pull it from the elbow. No shot called by the ref. He's going to be called for traveling.
Hawks basketball. Check it in for the Knights. Number 4, Charlie Powers.
Charlie Powers checks in for the Hawks. For the Knights. First time we've seen him all night. Grayson will set up the offense. Finds Williams on this right side. Fakes his defender out. Drives. Goes up into traffic and lays it up and in. Nice drive by Connor Williams. 50-46 now. Here's Tuttle as he has the ball to start almost every possession. Guarded by Armstead. Guarded tightly by Armstead. To 4. That's Powers. And he knocks down the 3. The sophomore Charlie Powers checks in the game and knocks a 3 down.
Talk about a guy having ice water in his veins. Powers, the youngest guy on the team, the only sophomore on the active roster for the varsity team, steps onto the floor. 30 seconds in, he hits a key three-pointer to make this a one-point game.
It is a one-point game, 50-49, 5:07 remaining in the fourth quarter. Grayson finds Hayes cutting to Armstead, to Williams, 8 seconds on the shot clock. He'll find Grayson, who'll pull up, fading away off the backboard and the iron, in and out. And here comes Carson Tuttle, tipped by Armstead. Nice defense. Sharp will eventually find the ball back to Tuttle. He sets up his offense. He gets screened by Sharp. That's Daniel Sharp. Drives. Daniel Sharp goes to throw it down, and it rims out, but he was fouled. There's that Hawk defense again. You're not coming into our paint and getting anything easy.
Is that number 3? Is that third foul? Yes. Calls out number 30,
That foul's on number 30, Mason Peterson, his third of the night. Daniel Sharp will go to the line and shoot 2. His first one rims out.
Checking back in for the Hawks, number 10, Mason Christensen.
Substitution for the Hawks. King Grayson's going to take a seat, and Mason Christensen's going to come in. But before that, we got a timeout called. Kamiak's going to take a full timeout. So, Steve, this is going to give us a second to talk here. 50-49, back-and-forth game. Hawks led by about 10 points at one point, and Kamiak has found their way back into this, I think, behind the shooting of Patrick Olson.
Well, they were down by 11 at one point. You're absolutely right. I mean, Olson coming out here, he's got 10 points in the second half alone, 14 for the game. He has 2 threes in the second half. Tuttle has 2 threes also in the second half. Charlie Powers, where did he come from? The sophomore stepping in and coming up with a huge play. And again, this is going to be a nice test for Mountlake Terrace. This is what you want early in the season. I think sometimes if a team goes out and puts up a 20 or 25-point victory, you don't know what you get out of that. Do you know what your team's character is? Do you know how they're able to overcome adversity? Are they able to get through and plow through a game like this? Mountlake Terrace, this is a nice test for them before they get into Wesco 3A action. Let's see how they react now. They've been punched in the face, so to speak, here in the fourth quarter. They need to regain the composure. They need to regain momentum. And they've got 4 minutes and 32 seconds to do it.
Wise words from the great Steve Willits. Daniel Sharp will go to shoot his second free throw. He missed the first one.
Daniel Sharp at the line, shooting the second of 2 free throws.
Sharp's shot goes up, and it rattles in and in. 50-50. We're tied here at the Terraceum. Peterson kicks to Williams. Thought about a shot. We'll just kick it to Armstead. We'll go down to Hayes. Hayes working on Sharp, and he lays it in. Big move by Brendan Hayes. 52-50. Hawks lead by 2. Here's Carson Tuttle. Screen by Sharp. Armstead gets around it. He finds Powers. Powers down low to Sharp. Sharp finds an open man. It's Olson, and he misses that 3. But rebound. And he misses the reverse layup. Rebound Sharp. He'll be fouled. Mason Christensen went to tip the ball away on a rebound, and it found its way to Olson, who drove, unable to knock down a beautiful reverse layup, rebounded by Sharp, and he'll go back to the line.
That's great hustle by Patrick Olson there. Took the shot and missed it. Mason Christensen doing really all he can. I mean, he's the shorter guy on that play. He's 5'9", going up against the big trees down there in the middle. Batted it away, and Olson really coming over to grab it, picked it up, and kept that play alive.
Checking back in for the Knights, number 10, Max Manalo.
Max Manalo back in for the Kamiak. Sharp about to shoot his second free throw. He's 2 for 3 on the night. He knocks that one down, make him 3 for 4. 52-52, 3:53 remaining in the game. Christensen kicks to Williams. Williams to Armstead. Armstead thought about a 3. He'll drive, kicks to Brendan Hayes, who's there on the backside and for an easy layup. Hawks reclaim the lead, 54-52. Tuttle guarded by Kyrie. Kyrie almost asking him to come at him. That's number 30. 20. Jordan Meyer lays it up. A little bit of a lapse there from Mason Peterson. Here's Williams to Armstead. Thinks about a 3. He'll drive again. Spins. Puts it up in traffic. Fouled, but is able to get his own rebound through the contact. Kicks. Mason Peterson. Deep 3. Knocks it down. Mason Peterson. A deep 3. 57-54. That's his third 3 of the night. Hawks reclaim a 57-54 lead. Tuttle, guarded by Armstead. Shot off the mark. Rebound, Connor Williams. He'll push the floor, coming quick. Connor Williams will drive in the lane. Lays it up and in. just a bit short. Rebound, Mason Christensen, nice play. Armstead to Peterson, deep three, off the iron. Hawks trying to move this ball quickly. 2:30 remaining in the fourth quarter, 57-54.
Well, you think that would have got the crowd on their feet if Peterson had hit that deep three there? Would have been a 6-point lead with under 3 minutes to go, and I think we would have just about taken the roof off the Terraceum.
Terrace student section starting to get into this one. Mason Peterson able to get the steal, but he bats it out of bounds in the process. Kamiak ball, 2:18.
Kamiak keeps possession.
Keegan Grayson will check in for Mason Peterson. Shooting well. A couple lapses on defense is going to get him pulled on this one. Inbound to Tuttle. Armstead stares him down. Armstead dropped to the floor by Tuttle. Shot goes up and he's fouled by Brendan Hayes. That'll be Hayes' third. And Tuttle is down after that one. We're going to take a short break here, so we have a player down on the floor. We'll be right back. We'll give you a little bit of recap on this fourth quarter action. 2:06 remaining in the fourth. Hawks lead by 3. Fourth quarter shooting. Brendan Hayes, he's got 8. Excuse me, he's got 7. Brendan Hayes has 7. Mason Peterson knocked down a big 3. Kyrie with 2 in the fourth. Connor Williams with 2 in the fourth. And for Kamiak, Carson Tuttle, a little bit less shooting, a little bit more passing in this quarter. He's only got 2, but Charlie Powers with a 3. Patrick Olsen with the 3. Jordan Meyer with 2. Daniel Sharp with 3 from the line.
Tomorrow. So who's here tomorrow? They're playing Oak Harbor back-to-back?
Carson Tuttle still down here. Kind of landed awkwardly after he got around Kyrie Armstead. Brendan Hayes came to close out the 3-point. Carson Tuttle hit the floor. Nothing but net.
Again, putting a little pressure on the sophomore here early in the season. He didn't see any action the first 3 quarters. He's already hit a big 3-pointer tonight, and now he's coming in at a crucial time in the game with 2:06 to go. And if he makes this next free throw, as he's 2 for 2 so far, he has a chance right now to tie this game up. Again, these two teams playing an overtime game last year, so nothing new for these two battling it out. And he misses the 3rd free throw.
Kyrie tries to save a ball out of bounds. It's going to find its way to Kamiak. That pass intercepted by Peterson. Quickly up to Armstead. Armstead takes it into the lane. He'll lay it up and in.
Kyrie Armstead.
59-56. Charlie Powers went 2 for 3 from the line. He'll stop the ball here. Looks like they're going to give him the Tuttle rolls and a push-off not called.
Guess who's about to check back in? Carson Tuttle ready to go.
Yeah, Tuttle, good shot from Olsen off the side of the eye, off the backboard. Nothing there. Excuse me, that was Manillo. Here's Christensen. He'll find Peterson. To Williams. Williams will swing the ball to Armstead. 59-56, 1:18 remaining in the quarter. Here's Hayes, top of the key. To Armstead, right side. He'll drive, lay it up and in, and it's just off the mark. So many of these just off the mark shots. Here's Powers. And Kamiak is going to take a timeout.
Timeout Kamiak, a 30-second timeout.
Kamiak will burn their second 30-second timeout.
Powers so that he can hit him. See if all 3 of those players come back out on the court. Again, no rush right now either. You've got 65 seconds to go in the game.
2 timeouts.
Shot clock's down to 30, so really it's not necessarily that stage of the game where you have to fire up a 3, but knowing that you have that in your arsenal, knowing that number 3 and number 5 are both out on the floor right now, they could tie this game up with 1 quick shot. We'll see how it goes here.
Grayson, Williams, Armstead, Christensen, and Hayes checks in for the Hawks. Kyrie talking up Carson Tuttle. This was the matchup we all wanted. We're going to get it. Tuttle working on Armstead. Armstead comes around. He'll go down low. That shot off the mark. Rebound, Connor Williams. Here's Grayson. He'll slow it down, bring the ball up.
17-second differential between the shot
Sets up
clock
the
and the
play.
game
Drives
clock.
right side. Needs to be fouled by Tuttle. Reach around from behind. That'll be Tuttle's second.
Fouls on number 3, Tuttle, his second.
And if you're Carson Tuttle, that's not necessarily the smartest of plays. That'll reset the shot clock for the Hawks. 35 seconds. Into Armstead. They'll go to him.
A little surprised at that one, by the way.
Throws it backside. Christensen. He'll knock it down. Mason Christensen, the sophomore. His first point since the first quarter. Knocks it down. 61-56. Here's Tuttle. 3. Off the iron. Rebound. They'll set it up. Here's Tuttle. 23 seconds remaining.
Going to get a hand check called against Williams on the play.
Connor Williams third. 3 Hawk players with 3. Williams, Peterson, and threes, while Armstead and Christensen have 2. 6 team fouls for the Hawks. Only 2 on Kamiak.
That is the 6th team foul. The next one will result in Kamiak shooting 1-on-1.
Tuttle comes around Armstead. Williams picks him up. He'll shoot for 3. Knocks it down. Carson Tuttle. Boy, does that man have ice in his veins. It's a 2-point game. 16.6 remaining. This is going to be a fun one, Steve. And Steve busy PAing. It's going to be Terrace ball. Mason Peterson's going to check back in. It's going to be a full timeout for Kamiak.
Timeout for Kamiak. 16.6 remaining. Mountlake Terrace 61, Kamiak 59.
61-59.
And, Ben, that is just so Carson Tuttle right there. You know he's going to shoot it. They're down by 5. They don't want the ball in anybody else's hands. And even knowing that he's got a double team, still has the basketball IQ to know that he wants to get Connor Williams off balance a little bit. Got Connor thinking he was going to shoot one moment, gets him in the air, scoots a little bit over to his right, finds another spot he likes on the floor, and just drains it. Again, we've seen it time and time again. We saw it last year, final play of regulation, when Tuttle put the game into overtime, and eventually they won that game. So Carson Tuttle, you know he wants that ball when it comes right down to it. Hawks needing to get at least 2 on this next possession. More than likely, you're going to get pressed. You're hoping that you don't turn it over. More than likely, you're going to get fouled. Question becomes, can you drain the free throws?
No doubt they'll be looking at Christensen, Armstead. In fact, any of these guys, Christensen, Peterson, Armstead, Hayes, and Williams out on the floor, any of these guys will have the ability to knock down 2 for 2.
Christensen was 8 for 8 last night from the free throw line against Lake Washington, by the way. So we'll see what he can do. He's yet to shoot a free throw tonight.
Armstead will inbound. It's going to go long. It's tipped. Christensen has it. He finds Armstead in the middle, and he's going to get fouled. Carson Tuttle's going to get his 3rd foul there. Some interesting conversation
And check called against number 3, Tuttle, his 3rd.
between Terrace coach Nayland Sood and one of our officials tonight. Sood wanted a little bit more than just your regular foul.
And
Not going to get it.
They've got fouls to give, too. They've only got 3 called right now against them in the half, so really they could do that 3 more times. Mountlake Terrace, if they can continue to catch these passes, they can do this time and time again.
Yeah, Christensen, it catches the inbound. Tuttle's going to have to foul. He's on 4 now. Tuttle's got to be careful. He can't be the one to foul next time.
Number 3, Tuttle, his 4th team foul against Kamiak.
13.2
A
remaining.
little surprised on that one that they didn't pull Tuttle out and have somebody else convert.
Kyrie spins off his man. Will hold time up a little bit and be fouled by number 5, Patrick Olson, his first.
That was on number 5, Wilson, his first. On the 15 foul.
5 fouls for Kamiak. The Terrace will get the inbound again. Peterson. And Mason Peterson smartly calls a timeout for the Hawks. Doesn't lose that inbound.
Is that a full or a 30?
We want the 30, Coach Sood. 30.
Timeout, Mountlake Terrace, a 30-second timeout.
Sood will take his second 30-second timeout. Mason Peterson saving the inbounds there. 10.6 remaining, 61-59.
I'm a little bit surprised that Corey didn't pull Tuttle out on that that last series of plays. He knows he's got to have some guys coming in there, and he knows they got to get fouls right away. Certainly you want Tuttle in there to maybe try to get the steal, but really you just used up 2 of his fouls. He has 4 now. Even if you were able to get this game into an overtime situation, your best player's out there with 4 fouls. I think you could have done that without him out there with those 2 getting those fouls just now.
Yeah, Carson's got to keep that in his head. He's got to play conservatively the rest of the way on the defensive end. Because if you're Kamiak, you don't want to lose him. Carson Tuttle will guard Mason Peterson on the inbound. He'll find Connor Williams deep in the backcourt, and he'll be fouled by number 10, Max Milano, his first. 6 fouls, 8.7 remaining. 1 more, and he'll just send Terrace into the bonus.
Terrace doing a nice job of eating up the clock here during this process. 8.7 seconds left.
Coach Sood going to take another timeout for the Terrace. This one will be a full timeout. Two full timeouts remaining for Terrace, 1 for Kamiak. 8.7 remaining here, 61-59. But kind of maybe the slowest 5 seconds of action in a basketball game is Kamiak had to move their foul total from 2 to 6. Terrace been able to run 5 or so seconds off this clock. Shot clock is turned off. This one's going to be a close one. So, Steve, if you're thinking about this one, I don't know if you're Terrace, I don't know who you want to send to the line. You got Christensen, you got Armstead.
Armstead 5 for 9 the other night. I like Christensen's chances there. Obviously, you're talking about a sophomore with a little bit of pressure on him. Last night, certainly 32-point lead at the half, so really you were shooting him without any thought of really needing them as much, so not a pressure cooker situation, whereas this one might be, we'll see what the sophomore's made out of if he gets into that situation, but certainly he's capable of draining a couple free throws. Brendan Hayes, we know he can hit them as well. Kyrie Armstead, always confident, so you know that's not a worry either with 8.7 to go.
On the next foul from Kamiak, it will be a 1-and-1 for Terrace. Everyone up for Kamiak. Pearson inbounds to Hayes. They're the ones he'll give it to. And he'll get fouled. 7.3 remaining. Hayes will go to the line shooting 1-and-1.
That was on number 34, Sharp. His third, 7th team foul, putting the Hawks into the bonus. Brendan Hayes at the line shooting the 1-and-1.
Substitution, Keegan Grayson will be in for Mason Peterson. Grayson, the more defensive player.
Keep in mind, this is a 1-and-1 situation. If he misses the front end, Kamiak down by only 2, they can choose to press this ball up the floor, especially if they get a nice rebound. Tuttle down on the other end of the floor, being guarded by Armstead. Wouldn't that be something if it comes down to the 2 of them on one end?
Brennan Hayes, big free throw, knocks it down. He's got 8 in the quarter. Hawks lead by 3, 7.3 remaining. Armstead back deep with Tuttle. Armstead not afraid to talk it up. Brendan Hayes will put his second shot up. And he knocks it down. It's a 4-point lead. 6 seconds to go. Tuttle gets around 2. He'll pull up for 3. Off the mark. Rebound Christensen. He'll be fouled. The buzzer will sound, and that will do it. The Mountlake Terrace Hawks survive the Kamiak Knights at 1 point up by 11. Scary situation here in the fourth, though. The Hawks pick up the W, 63-59 in the end. Hard fought. Got a shout out to Carson Tuttle, knocking everything down. But it's Terrace that just comes out on top.
All right, and welcome back here to the Terrace team. The Mountlake Terrace Hawks picking up the victory tonight, a big one, 63-59 over Kamiak. And with us, Mason Peterson. Mason, looking at the score sheet here, 4 3-pointers for you tonight, 2 in the fourth quarter coming down the stretch. Got to be fun playing a game like this early in the season, right?
Yeah, it's a blessing. I thank God for this opportunity, and I just come in and knock down all the shots I take.
Tell me how important it was to get that game in last night. Obviously, you're going up against a very good Kamiak Knights team. Back-to-back nights are always a little bit rough, but the fact that you guys were able to get one game in with those Terrace jerseys on against another team before you came into tonight, how much does that help you guys in a game like this?
Well, I think it's a first step. They haven't played yet, and we played like a warm-up game, and we won by 30, and I think this was more like helping us out.
I'm going to guess you remember this, but do you remember who won when these two teams played last year?
Yeah.
How much motivation was that tonight, knowing that really you had that game in hand against Kamiak? Tuttle hits that three-pointer, puts it into overtime. How much did you guys want this game?
I wanted it so bad. I've been thinking about it like almost every day, playing these guys.
Tell me a little bit about the chemistry, knowing one of the big plays of the night was that pass you threw to Kyrie about 60 feet down the floor. Is that just something you guys work on in practice? Is it just kind of more of a instinctual thing now at this point? What's it like when you guys are out there together?
I think we have this year is special. We have a great bond with all of each other, and I just know Kyrie's gonna finish it whenever I pass it to him.
You guys had a nice run at the state last year. You get knocked out in that first round. Hard-fought game. North Kitsap gets you by 4 points. How much motivation does that serve for you guys during the offseason to get back there?
Well, we like that experience. We want to be there. We want to be at the Dome back, and
I'm looking at this roster here. I mean, again, we mentioned you 4 3-pointers tonight. Hayes can hit threes. Kyrie can hit threes. Mason comes out. He hits one early. And the other guards as well. I mean, I've got to think if you are a defensive team going up against the Mountlake Terrace Hawks, you really can't leave anybody open out on the perimeter. I mean, do you guys talk about that a little bit in terms of, hey, if they're going to leave one of us uncovered, the other one's going to drain something?
Well, if anybody's open, someone's going to hit it. That's all I'm going to say.
And it seems to be working. So you guys are 2-0 in the season. Hey, so we're going to present you with the first of the year, the HBN Player of the Game shirt. So Mason Peterson, I'll have you look towards the camera there and enjoy that one. We're going to get a picture of you there, too, as Ben Iman gets the camera ready again. Mason Peterson, 4 3-pointers tonight. He is our first recipient of the Player of the Game shirt. Mason, good luck to you the rest of the way. Go enjoy this one.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate it. So we're going to take a break right now. When we come back, we'll get some final numbers out to you. Mason's going to head on down and celebrate with his teammates. Again, the final score, Mountlake Terrace 63, Kamiak 59. The Hawks going to 2-0 on the season thus far. We're going to take a break. We'll be right back. You're watching the Hawks Broadcast Network.
Stats for you tonight. First starting with Kamiak. Carson Tuttle led all scorers, knocking down multiple threes. I'll let you tally these up for you. Looks about 22 points. Carson Tuttle drops 22. Charlie Powers dropped 5. Patrick Olson dropped looks like 12. Connor Fitzpatrick with 3. Jordan Meyer with 6. Braden Lurie dropped 6. He dropped Braden Lurie dropped 5 for Kamiak. And on the Mountlake Terrace Hawks side, Mason Christensen with a quiet night dropped 9 points. Connor Williams had 4. Keegan Grayson also had 7. Kyrie Armstead, nice night for him. Kyrie dropped 17. Mason Peterson dropped 12. Brendan Hayes dropped 17 for the Hawks. And that was it. Hawks escaped this one, 63-59. You've been watching the Mountlake Terrace men's basketball team on the Hawk TV Sports Network. We'll be coming at you from December 12th, next home game. Look forward to seeing you then. Thank you all for joining us.